Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Bausele Sydney Diver in Tasman Black. MSRP for this watch is $1,200. When I originally received this watch on loan, I did not realize the company is based in Australia, but the name of the watch and perhaps the colorway should have given that away. So it looks like the owner immigrated or moved to Australia back in 2011. So they have a couple different collaborations. One of them is with the U.S. Army, and I'll show off the case back on this in a moment. But you'll see that it's stamped with the U.S. Army logo. So this watch is a limited edition. They made 500 pieces. It has a domed sapphire crystal with AR coating applied. You can see that there on the camera, on the screen. They do not specify what this bezel insert is, but I'm assuming it's aluminum. It kind of looks and feels like aluminum. And it does have old radium lume applied to the bezel. You can feel it is printed on there. And then if I zoom in here, you can see that this is a sandwich dial, which I did not notice in the unboxing. So you can see the sandwich dial there. What that means, well, I'm assuming a sandwich dial. It could be just hollowed out, but it looks like a sandwich dial. Again, that's not specified on their website either, but a sandwich dial is the dial is cut out where you see the lume, and then there's a plate underneath with the lume applied to that. And then you can see the ghosted logo there. And then we do have the depth rating below the handset, just above the 6 o'clock indice. Looks like there may be something else printed by that 6 o'clock indice as well. So let's zoom in here. Yes, okay, so USA 1775. So I think it's a cool looking watch. I don't have too many PVD black watches in my collection. I just prefer stainless steel, but I appreciate this being black PVD coated because it is designed after, or designed and built to MIL-SPEC MIL-W-46374F. And it's inspired by 1940s military watches. That's why you have the black case to prevent light reflection. And the black dial, kind of a sterile type dial, and then you have the lume on here so you can tell the time very easily in the day and at night. So as I mentioned, it does have a black dial with old radium lume applied on the dial and the hands. We do have a Solita SW200 movement powering this watch, 38 hours power reserve, 8 beats per second. Hacking and hand winding. So let's unscrew the crown here. The crown, which does have dirt in there from U.S. forts, so that's kind of a cool touch. Not really something you see very often, and it does just move around in there, so I think it's kind of neat. So let's unscrew this crown. First pop out is, oh, I missed the first pop out, but the first click out is hand winding. There we go, we're in hand winding now. And then the second click out is your time set. So hacking means that that hand has stopped. Hand winding, of course, means that in the previous crown position, when you wind the watch, it powers the movement. So this is a true no date watch as well, no ghost date. So let's reset that handset to 1010. Screw the crown back down. I've worn it mostly on this elastic NATO or parachute strap, whatever you want to call it. It takes a little bit of getting used to get the hook in this metal bracket here. Metal buckle, I guess it would be called. And I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Let's continue to talk about the watch specs here. Oh, also comes with this Tropic rubber strap. I did not wear it on this, but I'm sure it'd feel very nice, and we'll demonstrate that on this watch as well here in a moment. And it does have matching hardware, stainless steel that is coated here, and the watch is actually sandblasted before it's coated. So 3/16 ounce stainless steel case, sandblasted with black IP coating. I think IP and PVD is pretty much interchangeable. It means the same thing. It's vapor disposition, so it's PVD coated, or IP coated, ion plated. Okay, the specs. 47.4 millimeter lug to lug, 39.5 millimeter case diameter, so it wears very well on wrist. It kind of has this integral crown case shape, so it's not quite a symmetrical case. Kind of reminds me of the well, you know what, this makes sense now. It reminds me of the Maritac Navitimer or navigational watches, but that's because it's built to MIL-SPEC, so I'm sure that it specifies this case shape. So now it's making a little more sense to me. 12.9 thick from the top of the dome crystal to the back of that flat case back, which I still need to show you. 22 millimeter lug width. Crown's a little small at 5.5 millimeter, but again, that may be part of the MIL-SPEC. 96 grams on this elastic strap, and again, 200 meters water resistance. So let's take a look at this case back here. Hopefully you can see that. Let's zoom in. Kind of have this under some spring tension here with the way I've had the strap folded over, but you can see that MIL-SPEC number there again, US MIL. Bausele Swiss movement, assembled by US veteran soldiers, 200 meter waterproof and an anti-negative bias. And if found, returned to any nearest military facility. And there again is a limited edition number. This is 18 of 500, and that is the U.S. Army logo. So, neat watch to own, especially if you're an Army veteran or current member of the Army. I think it'd be neat to own this watch. So let me put this on wrist, and then I'll pause the video and put it on this strap as well. So let's see if I can get this on wrist without fumbling around too much. And if there's a, yeah, so I guess I'm getting a little better at it, but the first few days I struggled with it. So there we go. I really like this color combination with this army green, olive green. I guess it's army green, I don't know, but it looks cool. And the strap's comfortable. It stretches, obviously. And this thing kind of moves around on me a little bit, so. 6.5 inch wrist, 52 millimeter wristband. Again, lug to lug is 47.4 millimeters. Let me know what you think of this watch, and also if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It really does help me out here. With that, I'll put it on the rubber strap, and I'll be right back. Okay, just took a few seconds to remove the elastic strap. Thankfully, it has drilled lugs, which I really appreciate on watches. Just push, well, this is what I use. And you can push those spring bars right out. Reinstalling is probably going to be a little tricky with that elastic strap, but I won't force you to see that. So let's put it on the rubber strap and see how it looks on my wrist. So everything is all blacked out here, except for that case back, which it doesn't need to be blacked out. So I definitely feel a little more heft with this strap on wrist here. I think I prefer that elastic strap with this watch, but it's nice that they give you options here. I don't know if this would be a little more dressy looking. I mean, it's probably would need a different watch to wear to a wedding or something like that. Yeah, see, I have a small wrist, so I always have this little thing hanging off the side of my wrist rather than on the bottom. So let me know which strap you prefer on this watch, the Tropic rubber or that elastic strap. All right, let's take a look at the Lume. Before I do that, let's just compare it side to side with my SKX to give you a size reference. There we go. It looks smaller being all black as well, I think. All right, let's take a look at the Lume. All right, well, here's a look at the Lume. Need to turn off the backlight. All right, here's a better look at the Lume. A little more dark in here, so you can see the hands on the Sydney diver are very nice and bright. The indices and the bezel not quite as bright, but I think still legible here in the darkness. And you can see it compared to the SKX there on the right. I would say the SKX indices do have slightly better lume, but the hands on the Sydney diver are better lumed. Well, that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for your time and thank you for watching.